Oh, well, this ought to be fun. Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's always a great pleasure to be in here. We're back for another awesome, sensational Forza night. We're continuing our run of going straight through the top, and ain't nothing gonna stop us now. You know the usual. But at the end of the day, it's alright. We're here to do one thing, folks, to have fun. And what better way to have fun than to play some Forza 6? Everyone's go-to favorite Forza game. Or at least I think it is. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't been able to figure that one out. The jury's still out on that one. Nobody really knows. What I'm trying to say is, we're going to have some fun racing. And while I understand this game may not be as popular as some of the other ones, or as critically acclaimed as the other ones, it still carries with me a special place. I do enjoy playing it. It's very, 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 very fun. Fun game. At any rate, without further ado, let's go ahead and get this gravy train rolling. We got the car set, and we're going to be heading out to the Nürburgring.
Your next race will be at the Nürburgring, home of the 24 Hours of Nürburgring.
Yes, we know. Believe me, we know. Alright. Alright, so we came off hot off the heels of our last time race, which was through using the Ferraris and the Hondas, and didn't do so hot with those ones. So we're going to try something else. This one's just a plain blackjack style one with a few Union Jacks on here, just because there was no good designs in these ones. So we're opting for something completely different. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get this party started. Good old Lotus is never going to let me wrong. So we'll see. AI's all over the place as usual. Love to be that way. Seriously? Get the hell out of my way, man. Rick. I'm talking about it in this game. Sometimes the AI just like does this stupid shit. At least I'm not oversteering all over the track. My last race, the last cup we were playing. Oh good, it's only a 5-speed. Thought we were gonna have some fun and open this thing up. Shit, thought I could squeeze right through him. Come on, dude. I guess the thing I'm talking about, like the AI will sometimes do this kind of thing all the time where it'll just let go of the throttle. And sometimes it works to your advantage, other times it doesn't. Like for some reason they just let go of the throttle right there. because the Lotus is up to the task, and the Ferrari would have just slid all over the place. I don't even assume it would have. It did slide all over the place. Down without a fight. I'm gonna do this. These cars are much more controllable compared to what the other ones were. The 70s are the legends of Grand Prix. You just try to do your best and try to get through these ones. Sometimes it just ends up, like I said, feeling a little monotonous and start getting the deja vu. Like I called this thing deja vu. Well, I didn't call this particular one deja vu, but when I posted about it not too long ago, I used the title deja vu because that's kind of what you end up doing, and I still have one more after this. That's the thing, you end up feeling like deja vu all the time playing some of these things, and I never felt like that's always necessary. Like you want to race the different like legends of motorsport or anything like that, the Can-Ams. That's one thing, but you don't want to mix up the. I mean, you want to mix up the tracks. You don't want to have the same tracks over and over. It just kind of feels like a stunt. Getting a little rough there. Part about the open street. Take this thing right past everything. the unfortunate thing is the transmission's never up to this job. I mean, it could have dropped in an actual race transmission, something more modern that would have easily added, you know, maybe an extra gear, would have been able to take us past 100. But that's not the way the world works. We're not allowed to modify it. It has to fit a certain, has to fit a certain way. Not much I can really say about the Nürburgring. This car is more than capable of handling it. You can tell from, if you watched my last stream, I had a little difficulty with the Grand Prix cars, but this one, much more up to the test. The car goes exactly where I want it to go, and there's the reason why I chose the Lotus here. This week so far has been interesting to say the least. All the news popping up about this, about that. You know. You got the Halo Infinite watermelon thing, I guess, that was popping up. I guess people were complaining that they were shooting the watermelons in Halo Infinite's beta test, and I guess they just kind of blew up together instead of blowing up individually. And that kind of level of detail is, you know, always appreciated, but never that required that much. Most of the time, I remember the only thing I could ever think of where I required that much level of detail was a while back. I played a game on PC called Soldier of Fortune 2 Double Helix. I mean, when you shot some people, they dismember them, pull their arms off, their legs off, you know, that kind of thing. But if you're gonna go play Halo, I don't think you're really gonna be shooting from the stands too often. So I don't know why people were stressing out about it, or some people were complaining about it. Personally, the game looks good, especially compared to what it had originally was shown as. Is definitely a little on the ugly side the first time we got a chance to look at Halo Infinite, especially with those good old. They were just basically gorillas. That's all they are. The space gorillas, I keep calling them. There's no other way I can really call them. That's what they are. Giant little space apes. space dinosaurs, the space apes, the little space pigs that complement the Covenant forces. The space gorilla is a smoothed out, not really terrifying looking guy. I mean, you can look up some of those original screenshots for it. It's pretty hilarious. I'm glad to see at least they made some improvements, necessary ones, just by doing that. And hopefully the game turns out to be okay. I'm probably not going to be the first adopter for it. And in this day and age, you can't really trust promotions or anything for that matter to be good. A lot of people like to complain, especially about Cyberpunk 2077, all the bugs that plagued it on launch. Same thing with the debacle of Fallout 76. Moral of the story is, you know, if you have a good company that's worth your time, you know, I know it's always you want to support them in any way, but just don't. If you got a gut feeling that it's not going to look that good or be that good, just go with your gut. Don't be a first adopter. End up having buyer's remorse. I had that feeling so many different times. It kind of shows how dated I am. I had the Duke Nukem Forever first adoption because I'd been hearing about that game for so long, and then when I finally got that release date and got to see it, I mean, it would have been when it was first released, that would have been acceptable, I think, as a standard. That would have been acceptable as a standard, like maybe 5 years before its release date. But it was dated. It had rail shooting, like spots where you're forced to sit on there and deal with the enemies. You had the regenerative health, even though it was bashing regenerative health. So it's only tongue in cheek if you don't adopt it. Other than that, I'd probably say it wasn't horrible. It was just there was no way you're gonna salvage 13 years of build-up. That it was never gonna live up to the hype. I had other games. I mean, Killing Floor 2. I was early access adopter. I hopped on board of that one. That one I ended up dumping that after its initial release, because then just turned into this weird thing because they started charging you half the time for the DLC for the guns and everything else. And in my opinion, their biggest crime with that game is they nerfed the medic. So you play Killing Floor 1, the medic was never really meant to be a combat position, but I mean, you could still hold your own. You had several different choices of medic guns, the MP5, the Schnizek, the M7. You know, you had a bunch of different med guns you could hold your own with. But unfortunately, with the new game, the medic, no matter what weapon you use, always felt pathetic for me. Never felt like they were ever truly on the level with it. I mean, map design was okay. I mean, there was nothing to write home about. There was nothing memorable about the maps. Bosses were just like, whatever. I mean, Hans Volter was a unique guy. Not bad, 400,000. But it just, like I said, it wasn't anything that I could really say one way or the other with the game. It made it just, hey, I feel so great that I bought this game, or that I was part of the early access for this game. So I saw that game released from its alpha all the way up to its final release, and I still update it. And there's still people that play it, but I'm not one of them, unfortunately. I'm just kind of over the game. There's not enough to keep me interested. There's not enough that's going on in there. I mean, there's other games I'd say you could put your faith in that haven't let me down before, or haven't let me down yet. One of the hardest ones I got a chance to get my hands on was GTFO. That is my great recommendation for that game. If nothing else, that will challenge you in more ways than one, along with it places a heavy emphasis on teamwork. I mean, you have to have a strong, solid team. There's no way around it. You're not going to John Rambo it, Call of Duty it. It's just going to be like, hey, I'm going to succeed. I can carry the team. No, it does require a hefty amount of people to make it work. And it is challenging to the core. Their last update, they do rundowns. So the rundown number 5 was introduced branching paths. So the whole game works. You're going further and further down this station, and the first level, the top layer, is always going to be easier so the further you go down, the harder it gets, and it gets insane on some of these levels. But they have branching paths now that you have to complete in order to get to keep advancing further and further. So it's very, very cool. Kind of gives you a different way to play each map that you run into. Shit. Kind of gives you a different way that you're going to play each map. So eventually, you know, you can make it by the skin of your teeth until you have to realize that you need to go down one of the harder paths in the game because you don't have enough to unlock the next level. It blocks you from doing it. So there is a reason why you have to do it. It's just you end up having to play each map smarter than the last one because, good God, we were always on the last leg, and then we always come to the sudden realization, hey, we now have to do probably some of the hardest routes in the game on purpose just because we can't play the next level without it. Son of a bitch. I don't like rewinding, but good God, man. You're just trying to get around these pricks and they just hog the damn road. Another good one I can recommend, honestly, is Phasmophobia. You've probably seen it hovering around on Twitch. It is a very, very fun game. Kind of something you can do by yourself, but you can always play with people. And even with a bunch of randos, you can do very well. The game isn't the most difficult, most challenging, but it is the most satisfying because it's not unlike any other game out there. You're just basically playing Ghost Hunter. So you're living the dream as a Ghost Hunter. You're not really hunting ghosts, you're just identifying ghosts, and then you're just peeking out as soon as you identify the ghost. And my friends and I, we always play on some of the hardest difficulty on there, and man, you know, the ghosts, you know, some maps are easier than others, and then even then it's completely random with how it evolves. The hardest difficulties, the feedback you get isn't really a whole lot. Sometimes it'll be a ghost that reacts to you by yourself, sometimes when you're only in a group, but you'll never know because the game at that point doesn't tell you anything, so you have to actually figure it out on your own. It doesn't sound hard, but if you're trying to figure out exactly what's going on in the house, like how you're going to get the ghost, get these clues, it's not really going to work in your favor because you have a sanity meter, and if you dip below about 40%, it's the collective average, I believe. And basically the ghost will start hunting, and that's when you'll start dying. And you don't really have a reliable means of defense for the ghost. I mean, you have crucifixes or smudge sticks that'll stop the ghost hunt or nullify the ghost for like maybe about a few seconds, but after that you're kind of on your own. Some ghosts actually will literally hunt not even 10 seconds after they complete the first hunt. And it just gets you're basically trying to do this all before you run out that infernal clock, as I call it. Your sanity dips below too far. You don't want that to happen, because then the only way to revive your sanity is sanity pills. And even then, you have to learn other tricks, like your flashlight will help you see better, but it doesn't have to increase your sanity level, whereas the candle will keep your sanity up, but you won't be able to see too well. Kind of those trade-offs. The nice thing about that game, too, is you can play VR. You got one of the lucky few that has a VR headset. It's so amazing in VR. GTFO, Phasmophobia are all very good examples, I'd say, of being an early adopter and not paying the price of doing that because the games are so great to play. So very fun. You can play with your friends for so long. Sorry, one second. Take a sip of water here. Much better. But yeah, so I mean, there's a few games like that are all unique that we bought on launch. One of them is kind of in the same vein, but it's also very unique. It's called Lunch Lady. Lunch Lady is an interesting one. You basically play up to 4 students in a school, and you're you're basically trying to avoid the demon-possessed lunch lady who's out to get you, and you're sneaking in school at night because you need to steal the answers to the homework for the next exam. And it's basically like 10 pages that you're trying to steal. And that lunch lady, you play it on hardest difficulty, especially, it just gets balls off the wall of the challenge. Like, there's steam pipes, which you'd expect. There's steam pipes all over the place, where you have to shut off the valves, otherwise they'll start popping up and they'll hit you. And that doesn't seem like a bad idea, but the more pages you collect, the stronger the lunch lady becomes. So that's going to be a very, very horrible thing for you the longer you delay. And then the lunch lady also periodically gets stronger the longer the map goes on too. So you're basically damned if you do, damned if you don't. You might as well get out of here fast. And of course there's stages where you have to find it, and there's parts of it are locked, so you end up having to find a key. So I should say keys to like the stairwell, the lunch area, the basement, things like that, the pool area, the gym. And you're doing all of this while trying to escape this lady, and who's very, 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 very ugly, very... I mean, you can hear her coming. She'll make these like weird noises, and all my friends will laugh. She'll be chasing, she'll get you. You just start giggling. And you end up losing focus, and she ends up hitting you with a frying pan. That's one thing that surprised me. It's a jump scare, but I thought it was done in such a good way. If the lunch lady catches you, gets close enough to you, because she does throw objects at you, but if she gets to you, and believe me, she will at the harder difficulty, because after a certain amount of time she'll start running faster than you. So the key is to lose her around corners or in other areas of different classrooms. The screen actually, she'll jump right in front of your screen, and like I said, you're not expecting it, so it does get you quite a bit. You'll get used to it after a while, but she'll just pop into your screen like right in front and yell, and then bam, whack you in the frying pan. Yeah, I know, it's not getting you with the meat flavor and taking you and turning you into the Wednesday special, but it's still pretty hilarious. Like I said, it's a pretty good game, and it came out and we've been having a ball with it ever since. So I think that's kind of the thing, is these good games, they come out. They're not coming from the usual places. They're not coming from Activision, Ubisoft, and other studios who should not be named EA. But a lot of these other studios, I don't want to say independent, but a lot of them not so big publishers. I mean, GTFO wasn't. I think it's only made by a few people, the same people who actually were kicked off the Overkill team on Payday, and then. Phasmophobia is actually made just by one guy, kind of like mirroring Friday Nights at Freddy's, versus one guy doing the whole development. So it's kind of like, it's pretty impressive that it's pretty impressive that all this work in these great games. They're not polished by any sense of the word, but they're still very, very good to play. They've been better than a lot of the other stuff that's been coming out. I mean, you're gonna try to play the newest Assassin's Creed, it's gonna be like a disappointment. You're gonna play God of War, I'm not gonna spend time with my kid edition, you know. You can pick these games up, they're not gonna cost you an arm and a leg. I mean, the most expensive one that I mentioned is GTFO. That was $35. I mean, Phasmophobia, I believe, was $20, and Lunch Lady was only about, I think, we paid $5 for it, but full price was like $10. So, I mean, you don't need to charge full price to have a good game. And they're always talking about, oh, you're gonna have to have $70 games. I mean, that's just shit. That's just ridiculous. Sorry, I have to. I was looking at my computer there for a second. And you don't need to charge $70, $60 for to have a good game. You don't need AAA 100% graphics to make everything work. I mean, it's graphics matter, but they don't. I think it's what the core essence of a video game is. It has to be gameplay. gameplay is what takes precedence, and that's what a lot of these people are missing with their big push for just more and more beautiful graphics. It's kind of sad to see that, but you can kind of see some other studios are picking up the slack. They're filling the niche in. I mean, it's not to say that there aren't some bad big name games. I mean, the last one I purchased was, believe it or not, Zombie Army 4. The same guys who made the Sniper Elite games made Zombie Army. I remember picking it up for the first time. My biggest complaint with it is if you don't have a good team of friends, it's not really that fun a game. It's not a game. It's like Borderlands, where in Left 4 Dead, you're not supposed to play it by yourself. You're supposed to play it with friends. I didn't have any friends to play it with. I actually only started playing it recently, the original Zombie Army, and then I started playing it. They released it as a trilogy because they released 3 of them. It was broken up into 3 parts. And then they recently released last year with Zombie Army 4, which was very, believe it or not, I didn't know what to think of it because the first 3 games are interesting. They're not bad games. They're not long games. They're fun. Not to take away from them. There isn't really much to them. I guess that's the best way I can describe it. There isn't much to them. You gotta keep replaying it with the horde modes and everything else, but there isn't really much else
race will be at
like in
Brands
terms
Hatch,
of depth.
featuring the Brabham
The story's about what you'd
so
expect. I
named for
mean,
the
you get
legendary race
Hitler
driver,
on his
Jack
last
Brabham.
and final mission in Berlin decides, I need to win the war, whatever it takes, so I'm going to summon an ancient evil and summon zombies to walk the earth. In which case it works. I mean, he pushes them out and creates these plagues to take care of everybody, and it's up to you and about 3 other people to stop him. And what you do, you succeed in the 3rd part, spoilers. But 4 is, you get to deal with it all over again in the aftermath because the zombies never truly went away. They've just kind of been lingering around as you've been kind of basically in resistance mode in Europe. But 4 was kind of interesting, so they didn't do the Call of Duty kind of health regen kind of thing they normally did. They kind of went for a health bar that you can actually replenish. Aside from health kits, you can also replenish it via takedown. So if you kill a zombie with a special takedown, you earn by getting about 10 kills. You fill up your takedown meter, you can get your health back and some ammo back that way. They also introduced some familiar weapons, of course. A lot of the weapons can now level up, and they have special perks attached to them. They also have a perk system in and of itself that grants you stuff like more health, more durability in terms of melee and bullet damage, the ability to pick up mounted weapons off of their position. Man, it's just crowding their way through here. The ability to pick up mounted weapons off of the turret stands and everything else. It's overall, I'd say it's a pretty good game, but my recommendation for it is just don't pay the full price for it, because they were not immune to the as I call it, the DLC menace, because the game is essentially on its 3rd season pass, and I do mean a lot of the weapons are tied behind the paywall that they set up for it, with the miserable season passes, and that kind of pisses me off. That's probably my largest complaint with an otherwise solid game. I mean, so on the Xbox I have up to season, still need season 2 and 3, but on PC I don't have any of the season passes, so your starting weapon without any DLC is the M1P, the M1 Garand with the sniper scope, the Gewehr 43, and the Moist Nugget, the most of the gun. And then that's it. That's your choice of rifles. Everything else, you get to see how many rifles you normally have, but it's all like attach to DLC this or buy the season pass. And you get like 3 you get 3 of your support weapon. You get what? You get your M30 survival. The M30, as they call it, the triple-barreled shotgun, which, just as an aside, it's based on a real gun, but they got it wrong because the way they saw it, they saw, oh, it's a 3-barrel shotgun the Germans had. It's designated as the M30 survival rifle because it was a double-barreled shotgun with the 3rd barrel being a 375 big game partner for Luftwaffe for the Africa Corps. In case they got down, they could have something that would, I guess, the Germans thought there's going to be lions and tigers and big cats, and they'd deal with it when they got shot down in North Africa. So they gave them this thing to take them down. But yeah, so basically you get the M30, you get the French gun, and then you get the MP44 and the Thompson, and then that's pretty much it. Everything else, again, is all hidden behind a paywall. Pistols, you get the Webley, you get the 1911, you get the C96 handle Mauser, and then that's it. It's like, I don't like to shit on the game, but good God, man, you could see the dollar sign in the developer's eyes with this. When it first launched, it came out with an $80 edition, which was their super duper deluxe edition, as they called it. It came with all the first seasons. You paid $80 at launch for essentially what that would have been a complete game at the time. That's the first red flag right there. And then they came out with 2 season passes. Granted, they're chock full of content, but the content boils down to weapons that should have already been in the game because they were in the first 3. And then skins. Oh, baby. The endless skins that seem to plague the gaming industry. You get to sit there and deal with people who just want to sell you something, just complete ass garbage, and that's skins. They do nothing to change gameplay. They do nothing except just look cosmetically pleasing. So it's just basically the TF2 hat simulator all over again. Just buying DLC to collect skins. Well, the skins aren't really worth anything. You can't trade them. So it's the TF2 hat simulator minus the man con. Well, let me know if that reference is not sitting too well, because that's, again, an old reference that I had. That's how far back I go, back to the Team Fortress 2 days. I'm playing on PC with the orange box and everything else. I can't believe I have to say that, because that was well over, I think, about 15 years ago. Will never not be hilarious, to be honest with you. That's how far along it's come with PC gaming. That's probably, I think, that was probably, honestly, the orange box would probably be the best deal I've ever heard of in my entire life. Because you got all the Half-Life 2 games in there, along with TF2 and Portal. And that was, like, probably the best deal you could ever go with. The only good deal I could ever think of, something similar with it, I guess you could say, was the original World of Warcraft war chest that they had. Had the first, at the time, it would have been the complete expansions on there. And again, you didn't mind paying the extra because you weren't just getting tomatoes on the side over here. You were getting the game with full-fledged game content that doubled or tripled the size of the game. Like with Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2, and then you had Episode 1 and 2, they were full-fledged games. They weren't just like 10 missions in the DLC or a single mission. They were full-fledged games. That's what it used to be. Nowadays, you don't get that anymore. If you do get that, you end up paying for the nose. Alright. It is what it is. What are you gonna do? Most people consider consumers to be much smarter than what they were, so that's what I always say. People are a lot smarter than what other people give them credit for, especially gamer insiders. It's kind of a barrel full of laughs. That's the endless march of the gaming industry nowadays, treating their audience like garbage. But what are you gonna do? Just vote with your wallet, folks. Don't give them any of your money. Wire here. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say we're getting to the wire? Nope. We still got plenty more laps to go. We're not out of the woods just yet. Best part, this is only race number 3. We still got plenty more to go. Ending in the rain nap and the circuit is Spa. It's alright. End goal is to finish this, so by tomorrow I'll be done with this part, and I'll still have the other endurance, well, not the endurance races, but the other races to go through. But it'll be much easier to go through those ones than these ones. I hope. I don't remember those last maps. All I know is by next week, that I'll get through those ones, and then I'll be ready to start the actual showcases and the NASCAR and Forza challenges. Because those ones I think will be much more fun and much more riveting to watch compared to this. Just racing around the same track like 642 times in a row. Anybody else have any good memories? Talking anything helpful about video games at all? Whether it's PC, console, or whatever. I'm always open. There we go. last if you. Hooray! That was last. Every other one netted me about 200,000. I mean, sorry, 700,000. And I'll keep leveling up this Lotus.
Your next race will be at Watkins
Glen,
Glen, featuring the largest weekend sporting event in New York.
Yeah, but it's New York, so I don't really want to go to New York. Alright, give me 1 second, folks. Yeah, that's the way it works. Oh, well. Sorry, folks, I'm just kind of sifting through a few things here. Alrighty, let's go ahead and continue. Alright. We ain't getting any younger, and we're about to go drop it like it's hot. Yeah, I'm sorry. That should tell you how old I am right there. That should be that one big clue. You know, I take that back. I love this car design right there. That's the exact reason. Because I get just kind of do stuff like that. Okay, you know, when he's shifting that like that, he's not going to take me with him. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Or stupid shit like that. Because, you know, everybody has to, and their mother has to be basically running, D for their other computer. Like, can you get out of my way? Like, is that really that hard? Is it really that hard? Good grief, man. Also, can I ask why I have a Momo steering wheel on a 1970s car? I mean, I know Momo racing's popular, but I don't exactly think Momo was around during that age. God, I hope you went into the wall. Yes, you did. Perfect. Eat garbage. number 3 off here, girl. Man, you're stupid, miserable Ferrari. Like, what is going on, dude? I could easily negotiate that turn, and you're saying I'm not. Like that my fuel gauge, instead of showing exactly whether I'm full or whether I'm empty or any combination between. If you notice, it's on the dashboard of this car. It's in the bottom left, and it's basically measuring it in pounds. Like this was an airplane, and you're measuring how many pounds of fuel you have, or how much fuel you have left. But yeah, that's just kind of stupid. Give them a gauge. Eyeball it. If I tell the crew, oh, I've only got about 200 pounds of fuel left, kind of sounds like plenty, right? I got, like, you know, you're only what? Say this is a car, a nice little hefty race car. Say about a 25-gallon fuel tank in here, aluminum. You got about 25 pounds of fuel. You don't need to know your timer or anything like that. Just tell me if I'm running low. victory. Final corner. Ah, Jesus. Of
Your
course.
next race
Next
will
up,
be at
everybody's
Le Mans,
favorite, the
featuring the
Le
oldest
Mans
surviving Dunlop bridge.
Circuit de la Farth. Everybody's favorite, Le Mans. Well, let's get this one over with. Circuit de la Sarthe is never. I mean, yeah, that's usually what happens, right? No, no. You're absolutely right. 100%. I would not be able to execute a right turn. Oh, Jesus, man. I cannot catch a break with these dumb, stupid. It's just, it has to stop at some point. It really does. Satisfaction of pulling away from these idiots, just, it's so grand, but it just... Second turn. For some cars, it's always grating if that long straightaway exists, just because some of the other cars with top speed have the instant ability to catch up with you. But the nice thing about this one, at least for these low-end cars, this is what makes it work. It also works both ways. You also have a hard time catching up with them, especially if your top speed is higher, because you never get to open up. You have to slow down. Again, this is just a map that should have just been 2 laps and called it quits, but instead they had to make it 3 because, you know, it's just more than you can stand. Busted something, but I don't care. They didn't give me a red warning about it. Very impressive how far I can get without not being held back by a bunch of douches. Incoming, incoming. Maps that should have just ended one lap before, honestly. But we'll stick it through. Come hell or high water. We're almost out of the woods. We got this one and we got Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. After Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps, we got one more event to do in this class, and then we're completely and utterly done with the second part of the Legends of Motorsport. Onto the showcases. Eyes on the prize for this day. Hey, how's it going? Thanks for stopping. Hamburgers. Thanks for stopping by. Or dropping in, I should say. Hope you're having a good night. Just chilling with some Forza 6. And I was talking about video games earlier. Talking about some of the good old days, what we used to have back in the days. We're charging an arm and a leg to pay to win DLCs and skins. The DLC meant that you got a full-fledged game to go along with your full-fledged game instead of paying $80 for a complete game. Those were some good days. And also talk about some fantastic games that they're still producing today. Phasmophobia, GTFO, Lunch Lady, things like that. I was going to ask, what are you currently playing right now? If I may ask, whether it's on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. If you don't want to share, that's cool. My friends and I game on the weekends as well, and we're usually sick with some Zombie Army 4. I was mentioning earlier that's a good game to play, but don't pay full price for it. That's my best advice for it. It's not worth the it's not worth paying that, because there's 3 DLC season passes so far with it. To me, that's just a good game. I was given it to as a gift. I ended up buying it actually on Xbox, but my friend gave it to me as a gift for the PC, so we've been playing it and we've been loving it. It is a good game. It's solid to play. But it's just, I'm not a big fan of day one DLC. Definitely not a big fan of games that charge you for season passes like that. On the plus side, I can always come back to the old stuff that I have. Case in point, why I came back to Forza 6. I was always a big fan of the Forza series. You know, I was a Gran Turismo kid growing up, and then I came across the original Xbox Forza Motorsport, and I've been a Forza guy for most of my life. Then after that, basically this is actually the last Forza I really do plan on getting. It's kind of a different series than when I got it into it before. I stuck with it from 1, got to 2, great, 3 was just as good. You can always make the argument that's better. 4 was a little on the stale side. 5 was bare bones, but it was more of a return to form. This so far has been good, but it kind of carries the same issues that I've complained with previous Forzas in the past. Just the deja vu and monotony that you get with racing the same tracks just with different cars versus the lack of freedom you had in previous. I mean, I always loved doing event races and just kind of bringing your own car to that type of event race. So if there's like a V12 race, you can bring in your own little Le Mans racer or prototype racer. So long as it had a V12 in there, it was A-okay. We're taking an S-Class challenge, and taking a Land Evo or a Skyline R34 and souping it up and beating 7 shades of shit straight out of the Bugatti Veyron. It's good times. But that's what it is. Yeah, we were playing Zombie Army 4 on PC. We were also playing Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is surprisingly a good game. I was not expecting it as good a game as it was. But man, the community kind of let me down a little bit there. I mean, I get it. It's a completely, 100% a PvP environment, which is kind of what I don't enjoy. I'm not a big PvP guy, just because it always devolves into the same type of tactics, no matter which PvP game you're playing. But this one we had a few bad experiences with some people who were taking the game not only way too seriously, you know, the type of tryhards, as we call them. It was a big event where it was everybody versus the Reapers, or this big PvP faction. They weren't flying a Reaper flag, but I suspect that they were a part of that guild anyways, because they were just a bunch of jerks. They kept torching our boat and messing with us, even though not only did we try to explain them we had no treasure, but afterwards they came after us again for the server migration, and we were just kind of stuck with it. So we've kind of been taking a break from that, but we have been learning a few things. I.e., when to play the game. There's just like nobody on there, so we can kind of have it all to ourselves, or at the very least play with some like-minded people. PvP is fun, I guess you could say, but good God, does it drag you to the depths of shit. Well, yes, it does drag you to the depths of shit. Yeah, perfect. It drags you to the depths of hell and shit. Before that, we were playing some Lunch Lady, Phasmophobia, GTFO. These are the kind of games we usually stream on the weekends. I was playing the Master Chief Collection, actually, with one of my friends. We were beating the campaign. We kind of ran into a little snag last weekend, though. Finally. We ran into a snag last weekend. I guess the game just didn't like our connection, so it just kept getting dropped, so we weren't actually making progress on the Space Dinosaur mission, the Arbiter. So, just kind of put that one on hold for a little bit. Finally, last one. Circuit de Spa
Your next race will be at the Circuit de Spa Francorchamps, a course so unpredictable, only 6 Grand Prix drivers have won there more than twice.
No, I'm just kind of chilling here. Well, final race in the rain. We're singing in the rain? No, we're just racing in the rain. Which I believe is also a dumb movie, too, The Art of Racing in the Rain. Why yes, please do stop in the middle of the roadway and block my path. Come on, dude! Get out of the way! Wow, screw you, game. Like, seriously, what the hell? Yeah, it's just another day, ladies and gentlemen, where you're just trying to go around, and then the AI just gets all over the place. Just all over the place. There's no clear line, there's nothing. There's just you trying to beat the AI, and when it's tantamount to a... Oh my god, really? Struggle enough to survive as is. You gotta add to the fact that these guys literally drift all over the track. Sure, why not? Come on, dude! Yeah, I kind of figured you would, you know, just fishtail for no reason. Sure, I mean, why not? The game is absolutely 100% out of its mind, but, you know. I shaved off 7 seconds. Careful that entry point. Don't want to be turning the wheel. Wow, I've actually finished doing this inside of 2 hours. Usually it takes me about 2 hours to do a lot of this stuff. This one made it a little easier. Starting from when my first lap was, that I shaved off 9.8, almost a full 10 seconds off my first lap. That has to stop, honestly. You need to stop with that bullshit, honestly. Oh, I'm sorry you turned the wheel and then put the dirt. Yeah, I know, you weren't able to complete the turn. I don't know what I was thinking, folks. I'm sorry about that. That's it, at least for this part. Another 400,000, another level, another 2 levels. So I'm now level 15, so I got 10 more levels with that Lotus. Timeless racing series. Well, let's go ahead and... Last one is the Modern Grand Prix. With another Lotus. Yeah, this one will fly actually much faster, all things considered. X99 basically means that it's not gonna be very, very, what's it called? I said the Legends one first. I don't have to deal with that crap. Yeah, should be simple enough. Alrighty, folks. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and call it right here. So I do want to thank everybody for watching. It's always appreciated. We'll pick this one up tomorrow. We'll finish off our Timeless series, and then we'll start the Ultimate Racing Championship, which should be relatively simple. Those ones hopefully will move much faster. So in the meantime, I want to thank everybody for watching. Always a pleasure. I want you everybody to stay golden. And have a good night, everybody.
Aquí. Vente para acá, vente para acá. Le estoy diciendo bien, güey. No. A mi casa nunca vaya. No, que son mi casa. No, yo ahí vivo de arrimada, compadre. Ok, me gustaría, compadre, compadre, neta. Aquí te amarro donde quieras. Te amarro donde quieras, compadre. Te amarro donde quieras, compadre, neta. Quítate también. Venga, porque quítate también, güey. Aquí adentro, allá. Adentro, güey, adentro. Ahí todo lo que quieras. ¿Qué? Ahí todo.